So we'll move on now to market segmentation. This is when we actually start, we've spoken about the broader sense of the market, but we want to drill down to actually understanding a bit more about those markets, because we can't potentially just target everyone in one country. We need to go down a bit deeper into that. So that's where segmentation comes in. And to make it really simple, when we're talking about segmentation, in the world of tourism, we talk about it as customer segmentation. And this is very much around the four basic areas of who, why, where, and how. So if you keep those four in your head, as a takeaway for you this evening, kind of think about that and think about who your customer is, who is your potential visitor. And this applies not just to that inbound market, but also to that domestic market, to that local and that regional market as well. Excuse me. So in the world of tourism, we have two kind of set target segments. These were set up by Visit Britain a number of years ago. They do change, they do evolve, but we're kind of keen to show them, show these two target customer audiences. I'm just going to take some water. Apologies. And they are the buzz seekers and the explorers. And in the broader sense, a buzz seeker is somebody who is very freely spirited and spontaneous, and they want holidays full of action and excitement. Typically, they're between 25 and 34, though age doesn't really matter. It's more about the type of person that you're trying to, they're trying to attract there. So there's the buzz seekers, and then there's the explorers. Now, the explorers is a much bigger market, I believe, for Norfolk. And these are the people that want to enjoy the great outdoors. They want to visit the must-see sites. They want to embrace local culture, but also have a more of a relaxed pace of travel and experience. And again, typically, these are an older audience between 45 and 64. So if this evening, if you go away just kind of understanding your market a bit more and saying, actually, explorers that's exactly the type of people that I want to attract. Or actually, my experience is, I'm taking people out paddleboarding and it's a younger audience, and these are the people that want, a holiday full of excitement. Just kind of drilling down to that segmentation can help you. Now, again, the different markets will mean different things. So if you're thinking of an explorer here in the UK or an explorer in Germany, they're going to be completely different. So again, understanding your market is important. Going ahead, for now, a domestic explorer probably is better, is something that you will understand. But if you do want to reach out to those international markets, you need to actually think about what does a German or a French explorer, what do they want to do when they're coming to Norfolk? Now, we're keen, as we say, to extend that season and get people traveling in the lower season as well. And we know that typically this group of people, they like to think a little bit differently than the most of people, and they're looking for that sense of adventure and exploring a place, but they also want to seek out those really good new experiences and have those stories that they can tell when they get home. And normally they want to go against the flow. So this, again, is another segment, especially going forward with out of the pandemic. People do want to travel and get away from everybody else. They want to have that freedom, that escape. So actually thinking of that as a bit of a market segment is also a good way to extend that season and actually reach visitors coming to your experiences and activities going forward, in the tradition, not in so much the traditional sense of the summer holidays and term time, in those times when the weather's not so great and travel is a lot less. But we've also got some segmentations around the different types and characteristics and the ways people travel as well. And we wanted to share these with you so you can actually think about these different segmentations and actually go away and actually adapt your business, because it's very much about targeting, but also making sure you're doing the right things within your business, within your organization. So if you're trying to attract more walkers or cyclists to your business, to your experience, you need to be making sure you're communicating and marketing in the right way. But when you're doing that, you need to make sure you're actually doing those things. And some of those things, as you'll see on the screen there, are quite simple and easy. So if you're going to entice and you want to market more to walkers, and particularly people with dogs, and you're linking up with a local accommodation provider that is also dog friendly, well, make sure that your business is also dog friendly, having water bowls and snacks for dogs and being really dog friendly. It's simple things like that, and then communicating and marketing that in all of your copy, your website, your leaflet, your brochure, all of those different places. It's actually informing the consumer and saying, hey, I'm here, but also I'm here for you. You're the right type of audience that I'm looking for. So you could say walkers and cyclists are a market segmentation, and that could really suit you. So you can actually drill down and say, right, I'm going to go for a domestic market and really looking for that outdoorsy person, that person that likes walking and particularly cycling. So that could be an audience. Another audience could be the car-free people. So these are the people arriving by train. They're environmentally friendly. They're thinking about links, getting on the bus, using an e-bike. But also, again, are you promoting where your nearest charging point is for their electric car or their e-bike? Have you actually put that into your marketing? Are you actually promoting that so you entice those people? And these are really quick wins that sound really straightforward, but they can actually really diversify your market if you start responding to their needs. So there are a few other markets which you're going to see now on the screen. Another one is the LGBTQ+. Now, you don't need to be doing anything in particularly different here. What you need to be doing is making sure you get a really good welcome, and you've got no awkward moments and no awkward kind of his or hers in the wording in the room and things like that. Just those really kind of things that have been done traditionally, but now really stand out and think, actually, this isn't how we do things anymore. But just again, it's about communication. So you really, you are actually diversifying your markets. And again, around access, people who might use a wheelchair or might be short-sighted or have sight problems. Again, just kind of thinking about that customer, that audience. Think about how you might adapt things quite easily. We're talking about quick wins here. We're not talking about a whole rebuild or anything like that. We're talking about things that you can do around your signage, in your marketing, and just communicating. Actually, we're here for everyone, and we're not doing anything to make you feel particularly special, because we make everybody feel special, but we've got no awkward moments. Now, another audience is the pre-nesters and the empty nesters. And again, this is a very kind of tourism kind of segmentation term that you will hear across the industry. So when I talk about a pre-nester, I'm talking about somebody aged between 18 and 34 on average. And typically, these are the people without children in their household. So these are the people who have not yet had children, and they've got more time on their hands, more money, and they've got more flexibility. They can travel out of school holidays and half term, and they have that time to do that. So that could be an audience that you tap into. And if you leave here this evening and you think, actually, I'm going to go for that local regional audience that Chris mentioned, but I'm going to really focus on the pre-nesters. I'm going to go for that 18 to 34, and I'm going to focus on that and actually make sure my experiences and activities are not just in half term, not just at weekends. They're going to be all year, kind of all year round, in the week, what have you. Another part of that pre-nester is also the empty nester. Again, typically this is adults who might have had children, but they have left home. They've gone off to university, they got married, they've moved out. And again, the empty nester has got more time on their hands, hopefully got a bit more money to spend that, but again, more flexibility about how and when they travel. So all of this information is in our slide deck, which you get to see and have, but also we've produced a workbook as well, which has all this information in there, so you can actually look in more detail at those quick wins. And some more latest data. This is done in 2020. That was some surveys that were completed for all of the regions of the UK. And in the green colour there, it's east of England, so the whole region, and with the average across the total of the UK. And it just really shows us that, you know, Norfolk is a good place for outdoor activity. The east of England is good for, you know, rural destinations, rambling, walking, the outdoors, nature, those kind of things. So again, that's just giving you a bit more information about the types of audiences that might come and do your experience. And if you haven't particularly got a nature or an outdoorsy experience at the moment, you might want to just think about how you can adjust that or make your experience a bit more lead into that kind of audience.